On one morning walk, this will be my last story, in one morning walk, well, again, it was another time that Srila Prabhupada came to Paris. And we were making preparations for Prabhupada's arrival. And we were getting everything ready, and then there was a knock on the door. It was about 3 days before Prabhupada's arrival. There was a knock on the door. Guests would just come and knock, and we'd open the door. There was this, we call them in French clochard, like bum, dirty, disheveled, probably hadn't bathed in weeks. Hair was all matted by dirt and crust, and eyes intoxicated. Food. He wasn't very old. He was maybe a young man, 18 or 19. And I said, I guess a little prashad, I won't come in. No. You have to bathe or something, you're too dirty. Food. Food. And then they went away. And then I went out for a japa walk later in the afternoon, and I was walking along the Avenue Foch. And that's a big, our center, Fort Lousseur, was in a very nice area of Paris. So I went on Avenue Foch, right into the Champs-Élysées and the Arc de Triomphe, like that. Very nice, prestigious boulevard. I'm walking, and I hear this noise in the bushes, like that. And I looked in the bushes, there was this boy, and he'd made a little place for himself there, I'd heard later from devotees that he'd been there for a few days. He had like some newspapers down the ground. He was sleeping there, making some noises. And the next day I came by, and he kind of popped out of the bushes. Food! I said, come to the temple, we'll give you some prasad. Anyway, other devotees heard about him, and we nicknamed him Pigpen. Charles Schultz had that character, Pigpen, because actually he was like Pigpen, flies. And so I forgot about it, then Prabhupada came. And one morning, Prabhupada wanted to take a morning walk on Avenue Foch. So, we were coming down, and suddenly out of the bushes lunged this boy. Devotees had been giving him prasadam, and maybe those days try to deliver the whole, we preach it, maybe they were preaching to him, telling him some things, and he lunged out of the bushes at Prabhupada to grab Prabhupada's feet. And I don't know who it was, they said, "Get that boy!" And somebody got dragged him and threw him back in the bushes or something. We kept walking, oh my God, that was Pigpen. Pigpen almost touched Prabhupada's feet. The walk continued. We went a long way, we came back, went around the lake, and we came back, and everybody was on the morning walk. Just the pujaris were on the altar, dressing the deities. Prabhupada was going to come back for Govindam prayers. So we came back, and I noticed, because, we closed the door, because I didn't want anyone to come into the temple, the door was open. Somebody had come in while we were away. He left it open, wide open. We came into reception with Prabhupada. We came into the temple room, and I was right next to Prabhupada. We walked into the temple room, and there was Pigpen. And he lunged and he grabs Prabhupada's feet. And somebody says, "Get that!" And Prabhupada says, "No." And Prabhupada let him hold his feet. And Prabhupada put his hand on his head. He said, "That's all right, my boy, that's all right. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna." Massaging Pigpen's head. It's all right, it's all right. And you could hear a pin drop. The devotees nobody was moving. They just, whatever position they were in, they're just stunned and they're watching. It's all right, my boy. And then Prabhupada said, "All right, Hare Krishna." And then Pigpen fell back. And then Govindam Hare Purusham Dhamma, like this. And then the temple was crowded, and Pigpen was sitting in the middle of the floor. Like, And then Prabhupada sat down, and nobody would dare move him out of the temple room because we'd seen how Prabhupada was so affectionate towards him. So Prabhupada sat down and started giving class and everything, and then the class was over, and then everybody kind of went, and then somebody said, well, Pigpen should leave. And some of the devotees said, no, Prabhupada gave him some mercy, let's see. So Pigpen, you want to stay? Taking a lot of drugs. So some devotees want to throw him out, so I said, okay, take him upstairs and clean him up. They took him upstairs and gave him a shower, and and they put him in a dhoti, everything. I didn't recognize him when he came downstairs, but he still couldn't speak very good. So he just kind of stayed around, and just kind of stayed around that day, and then he spent the night, and we can't have him around, he can't do anything, and then Pigpen started doing like cleaning things. So he kind of endeared himself to devotees, like he started cleaning. And whenever we go to him, we'd say, Pigpen, how you doing? Oh, Prabhupada saved me. Prabhupada saved me. Okay, Pigpen. Well, okay, yeah, Prabhupada saved me. So then he kept staying around and started chanting. Okay, and then a couple of weeks later, it was time for me to go on traveling Sankirtan in my van. Went out, packed the van, the doors are open, we're packing the van there. And then some more book came out, and Pigpen was sitting in the passenger seat, the front passenger seat. I said, Pigpen, what are you doing here? He said, going to Sankirtan. I said, Pigpen, you're doing a good job cleaning the temple, Go to Sankirtan. I said, Pigpen, why? He said, Prabhupada saved me. And I went, oh, Pigpen. All right, we'll give you a chance. You come out and you can clean the van. So he said, all right. We had to get his things together, to go upstairs and get his little things together and put them in the van. He was just sitting there. So then we left. Pigpen in the front seat. I was driving, looking over, and oh God, look at this guy. And somehow he got in a book bag. He put some books in it. So in those days we were doing the parking lots. So we got to the parking lot, and we're getting our book. And the first one out of the van was Pigpen in his dhoti. Thinking, oh my God, what's this guy doing? He's going to get us arrested here, And he runs out, and I said, somebody go get him. What are we going to say? What are we going to do, I said, okay, he'll be back in a minute. He'll get scared out there. So, we had a big breakfast, we were like packing our bags and, talking to each other, and then looking, it looks like Pigpen's doing a book over there. Entrance to the shopping market, Hey, Pigpen, look at that book. And his bag was packed. So, we were late. I don't remember what it was. We were kind of tired or something from the night before. Just as we're getting ready to leave the van, about an hour later, Pigpen comes back, no books in his bag. I said, what happened? So he probably dumped them. No, we saw him distributing the book. I said, Pigpen, how'd you do that? What did you tell the people? I tell people that Prabhupada saved me. That was his mantra. But he was transformed from whatever he was before. There's that verse Sanatana Goswami says, it's like bell metal can be changed into gold by a chemical process. So someone who has the training and diksha from a pure Vaishnava devotee to the Lord, he can become Brahmana. He can be more than Brahmana, he can be Vaishnava. The transformation was so quick in the heart of Pigpen, it just created so much faith in all of us in the process of Krishna consciousness and Prabhupada's mercy. Prabhupada transformed that boy, just rubbing his head. It's all right, boy. It's all right, my boy. Hare Krishna. All right. What Prabhupada gave that boy during those 20 seconds, who can understand? He reached it, Prabhupada, grabbed his feet. And he was holding on to Prabhupada's feet in the temple room, like this. So then Pete Penn became a big book distributor. Speech cleared up, and he started talking nicely, started giving classes, you know, and eventually he took initiation. And his name was Rasada Das. And for many, many years he was with us in France. And then, you know, after some years, you know, the French yatra changed, and I left, and he left, and I haven't seen him since that time. But I did receive some news that years later he was distributing books in America, in New York. This was a good, 20 years ago or something. But all glories to Srila Prabhupada's mercy to transform the Jagai and Madhais of the modern day, the modern era. Hare Krishna.